Guenet, and I am here with the indomitable Millie Raphael. And for those of you who have ever wondered what it's like to run a campaign, let me just say this. You can start from grassroots, because you told me you started in grassroots.
I did.
And now you're running a U.S. Senate campaign.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it's shocking, but yes, it's true.
Well, let me put you at ease in a way to say something.
Okay.
I've seen a flip, and right now the folks who are the ones who were the volunteers, the ones who did the back end work, that lifted people, are a lot of times now the ones who are still in the game and making that difference in leadership. Because coming out of COVID and all of that, when a lot of folks have disappeared off the scene, the volunteers and the ones who pushed on the grassroots are still around. You have to now figure out, are you a leader, Millie? And I can tell you, we've worked with you, you are, right? It's a collaborative style.
Right.
Talk to us just a little bit about your journey.
So, so I owned my own company that had nothing to do with politics. I was in the neuropsych evaluation space. I worked with attorneys and doctors to figure out how folks were, how they were functioning. But when the 2016 election happened and Trump got elected, I got very angry. And I became an activist. At first I started off as a very, angry, I've got to make a difference kind of activist. And very quickly I realized there weren't a lot of leaders in that space. I began to work with Women's March. I became a Women's March leader. I worked with Indivisible and other organizations. I did marches and die-ins and showing up at elected's office, and really all of the anger about what was happening in this country. And at one point I realized that's not enough. We actually have to get the right people elected. We have to get them into office. And so while, as I was saying to you before, I'm a very introverted person, I like being behind the scenes, I also realized that I had a talent for getting people organized and getting them excited and getting them to work together. And that was something I could translate into politics.
Yes.
So in 2017, Andrew Gillum discovered me when he came to one of my events, and he said, I'd love you to work on my team. And I said, oh, no, you don't understand. I don't know anything about politics. I'm just a very pissed off Boricua. And he said to me, that's why I want you. And so I'm pretty much self-taught. I found out that I really love everything that is data and strategy. And so I tried to lead from that. I tried to lead by combining the talents of organizing with what data can tell us about how to strategize to get someone into office. And so
I like that.
That's been my journey. That's been my journey in politics.
Wow. So talk to us about because remember, for us, we're going to have people from the Caribbean watching. We're going to have Boricuas watching. How do you not, because our culture, we're taught to think before we speak a lot of times and all of that. And I've worked with you now, so I know you speak, you do this. And so this is a lesson now for folks who want to transition into leadership. Just give us a tip from you. Because grassroots to leading, that's a huge jump.
Yeah.
And in style as well.
So it was a hard-learned lesson. I worked on the Gillum campaign as a grassroots leader. I actually helped build a statewide volunteer organization for him. And we won the primary. And the first county that came for Andrew Gillum was by Puerto Ricans in Osceola County. I used my anger and my passion to allow me to speak. And then when we got into the general, the folks from Washington came down and they basically parked all of the volunteers and all of the people that had done all this work. And so I got quiet again.
Because you thought experts were in the room.
I wasn't good enough. And so there were many times when I watched them do things, them coming from Washington, that I knew were wrong for the communities, and I wouldn't speak up. And we lost that general. And so I learned the value of of being intuitive in your leadership and in your understanding. So I think the tip that I would give is, I think mostly speaking from the experience of a Puerto Rican, coming from the Caribbean, we sometimes, particularly women, think that we should be quiet and that we shouldn't say what's on our mind unless it's in a group that we kind of know everybody.
Feel safe. Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that we have talents as women, as Caribbeans, that are so important in this space, in the political space. When you think about it, black and brown, Hispanic, Caribbean, African American, all of these make up the Democratic electorate.
Sure do.
And we are not using our power because we're not using our voices. So what I would say as advice is, even if you think, que vas a meter la pata, that you're going to make a mistake in what you say, speak up. Because it could mean the difference between getting someone like Andrew Gillum into office as a governor versus someone like DeSantis.
Absolutely. And, I am going to ask folks, and I'm going to close on that piece. Tell folks how they can follow you, because if you don't have a page, I hope you have a page that people could follow you, because we need more leaders.
Thank you.
We need more leaders in our space.
So I mostly use Instagram. I'm Millie Raphael, so it's MILLIE-RAPHAEL. So my content is both political and personal. In my spare time, I enjoy helping folks with all things relationships. Okay. So I'm also a certified relationship coach, which is another way I've learned to take my voice and help people use theirs in both emotional and physical intimacy. And I've combined that with my political work, because both of them are about power, both of them are about speaking up and being seen. So that's my page.
Oh, thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Millie Raphael. Estoy en Instagram como Millie Raphael, MILLIE, Raphael, RAPHAEL. Soy una boricua, soy muy orgullosa de ser boricua. Nací y criada acá en los Estados Unidos, pero toda mi familia allá en la isla. Sabe que después del huracán María, esos 7-10 días después fueron uno de los más difíciles de mi vida, y yo sé que era igual para todos los puertorriqueños viviendo acá en los Estados Unidos. Y la razón fue que realmente no sabíamos lo que estaba pasando en la isla, no teníamos comunicación, no sabíamos si nuestra familia estaba bien o heridos, o si había alguna dificultad. No teníamos cómo comunicarnos con nuestros seres queridos. Y eso fue una de las razones por cual yo decidí lanzarme como gerente de campañas de demócratas acá en los Estados Unidos. Yo estoy trabajando en este momento como gerente de la campaña de Stanley Campbell, que es demócrata. Y una de las razones por cual yo quise trabajar con el señor Campbell es por lo que él me contó, en el sentido de lo que él hizo después del huracán. Él fue a la isla, él tiene una compañía que trabaja con farmacias, y él sabía cuáles eran las farmacias que estaban funcionando y qué es lo que estaba pasando en la isla. Sabía que había algunas personas que no pudieron encontrar sus medicamentos, y él fue allá a ayudar. También una de las razones por cual yo trabajo con el señor Stanley Campbell es porque él me dijo que él quería trabajar para unir no solamente el afroamericano, porque él es un candidato afroamericano, pero también el latino. Él quería unirlos para poder mejorar el estado de la Florida. También él es militar. Mi papá fue Borinquen, y yo sé la importancia de una familia militar y tener los soldados en el ejército acá en los Estados Unidos. Y fue por eso también que yo decidí trabajar con el Señor.